Maybe. Hey, Erin, we're going live. Who do you want to do a shout out to?
I want to do a shout out to my beautiful family. So my husband Gordon, my two beautiful little ones. Well, one's not so little, Liam and Rowan, and to my mentors and to my amazing clients.
Oh, family mentors and clients. Here we go. Guys, we are talking to somebody that we've never talked to before and about a subject that I do not believe we've ever talked about before. We're going to be talking with Erin Ryan about Reiki. Erin talks about the five element dragon fire Reiki and how she helps successful entrepreneurs and energy workers raise their vibe. She's also the founder of Crystal Lake Reiki and five element dragon fire Reiki. She's a high level energy mentor, licensed acupuncturist, certified Reiki master, holds sacred safe space for successful entrepreneurs and energy workers. Erin, welcome to the show. That is a lot of stuff that you do.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. It's its own
It's kind
thing.
of a thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to do something different with you that we haven't done with people before. And by the way, for y'all, you guys on YouTube, welcome to YouTube. Give us a like. Just press that like button right there. That'll be awesome. I usually wait and ask until the end of the show. I ask people like, what is the point that they want to get across to people? What is it that makes this extra special? I want to start with that question today, and then focus everything that we do around. Um, what do you want people to take away from this experience today? What do you want them to learn, know, and be?
It really does come back. Everything comes back to the same thing for me, which is that we can transform our deepest wounds into our most potent medicine. So for us, for the world, it's all about creation. Like, what did you come here to create and birth and be in the world? So this embodiment is absolutely possible. And it's like all the initiations, all of the stuff that's happened to you, you can absolutely transform this into how you serve yourself and planet Earth. So it's just a beautiful sacred process that
And
we're all
you
going
do
through.
this usually through Reiki and through your process that you actually have helped develop and turned into something special. So, before we go too far, let's just tell people one, what is Reiki, and what's the Dragonfire Reiki that you do?
Yeah. So Reiki, in its simplest form, it's a Japanese form of energy healing that promotes relaxation and wellness, and it helps your body to heal itself. So it helps the body support itself. It's just a really, really beautiful healing modality.
And by the way, can we actually have people talk to you today and actually ask questions? I
Oh
want the
yeah.
audience to be able to jump in and ask certain things of you as we go along. So, when we were in the green room before, we talked about the fact that there are multiple forms of Reiki. So, why don't we start with where did Reiki start? And then let's talk about how we got to those multiple forms of Reiki.
Yeah. So hands-on healing like this, it's actually been around for thousands of years, so that's not new. But the type, especially in the Western world, that we're accustomed to seeing is founded by Mikao Sui. He's actually a Japanese Buddhist monk. And so I love to tell the story, right? In 1921, he went into Mount Karama. So it's a mountain in Japan. And he did a 21-day fasting sort of cleansing. And as the story goes, nothing happened for 20 days and 20 nights. Then on the 21st, he was struck with this energy of essentially enlightenment. And so he started coming down Mount Karama. He tripped and fell and hurt his foot. So then he instinctually put his hands on that area, and then this energy flowed into his body and healed him. So then he realized, okay, I can use this energy. I can teach people how to work with it. It's really
How long
cool.
ago was this? Like this?
That was in the 1900s, so
Okay.
1920. I want to say 21.
Okay. So Reiki is compared to some other forms of healing and things fairly new then.
Yeah, and that's why I like to say hands-on healing like this, energy healing has been around for thousands of years, but the kind that we know in the Western world, that is where it was born.
Is there a
It's really
difference between Reiki and other hands-on healing? Like you go to a lot of is it the Pentecostal churches, I think, practice some of the hands-on healing. Is it different than that?
It is. With Reiki, you are specifically connecting to this divine source energy that, I haven't looked as much to the Pentecostal, but it's a very divine specific kind of an energy that you are connecting to. And so in Reiki, you actually get what is called an attunement, or depending on the type of Reiki you take, it can also be called a placement. And so what that does is, it's like if you think of a guitar, sort of anybody can pick up a guitar and start to like strum, you know, the strings, but until those are attuned, right, you get those strings in tune, how you're going to play is not going to be, it's not going to sound as good. So that's the idea behind Reiki too, is you're getting an attunement or a placement that really opens you up to this energy to then channel it from divine source through your crown chakra down into your heart, and then through your arms and your hands.
That is one of the best analogies I've actually heard about being in tune with things, because you're right, anyone can pick up a guitar and you hit it and it is just noise. But after you learn, become a master, then it becomes music, right?
Yeah,
So
it's true. You can truly become masterful at that point. And so like I did energy healing back in 2005, but it wasn't until I took Reiki in 2008 that my abilities really started to kick in. And I hear that consistently from people who are already intuitive, already psychic, already doing energy healing. Once they take a Reiki class with me, it just explodes. Like it's mind blowing, some of the results that they can have. It's really cool to be
do you
witness
have to
to it.
be psychic to practice Reiki, or is Reiki being psychic?
Reiki is really no, you do not have to be psychic. And a lot of people start off as they feel like they're intuitive, right? They're just like, I feel called to this. I've had people who have been in my classes that have never experienced Reiki before. They just knew that they had to do it. They literally knew. And so as they work with the energy, with the intuition, with Reiki, it starts to open up and things start to really like, so for me, I'll give you an example. When I first started, I was very drawn to Reiki. I just had to do it. I didn't know why. I started with it, and then I started to feel things. Like that was the first thing. I can actually feel tingling in my hands, a little bit of energy moving. Then I started to see things. So I would see images that came through. Then I'd start to hear things, right? And then I really started to get like very strong intuitive knowing. So it's been like this really beautiful process of unwinding and unraveling and just opening.
Are these things like you saw and felt and heard while you were trying to do the energy healing, or is that separate? Like,
Yeah, when I first started doing energy healing, I didn't feel a whole lot. So I was just sort of playing around. I worked with I think I picked up Donna Eden's book. She's one of the more well-known energy healers, and I just started getting myself acclimated to working with energy and starting to try to understand how to work with this energy and kind of like speak the language, because energy is like its own language. It's beautiful, but it's also kind of foreign, but it's also kind of like, okay, but it's really natural feeling. And then from there, once I went into Reiki, that's when I really started to feel this connection, this deep connection to intuition. Because I was specifically with Reiki, like I said, you're specifically connecting to a divine source. So you're acknowledging that there's something bigger than you. And it's basically you're channeling unconditional love. And when you channel unconditional love, you're pulling it into your body. So the practitioner is always healing on some level. And then we are channeling it too. We're pulling it through us to the person that we're working with. So then they're getting like so much benefit. We're just creating this really beautiful healing space so they can kind of naturally do what they need to do.
so when you're actually doing the healing, do you have to be in physical contact with the person? Can it be long distance around the world? And what is it that somebody feels like if you were going to heal me or one of the members of our audience? What do they feel?
Yeah, you actually don't need to be in physical contact. Some people prefer being in physical contact. You know, bodies need platonic, loving touch. There is a beautiful experience, a synergy that happens when you're in the same room with the person, but it is absolutely not necessary at all. Pre-COVID, I did pretty much all one-on-one in-person work. And then once COVID came, I switched completely to, I flipped it to all distance work. And it absolutely does work and it's quite effective. The way that I explain it is if you think about like, okay, so we're all have these molecules, right? These cells and these molecules, and they're all like moving around and they're bumping in. So my molecules are bumping into the molecules of the air, which bump into the walls, which bump into the other room, and that keeps spreading. So everyone is actually connected in this fabric, this energetic fabric. And if, I'm a huge geek, I love metaphysics as well. Like one of the ideas is energy can either be created or destroyed. It's just transformed. So if you work with that idea, we are all very much so connected. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're somehow connecting to this energy, and you connect through the energy to a certain person or to a certain what that makes you able to heal them.
You're connecting to this divine source, this source of, like I said, like love and healing. Vibrationally, we might say that it's like a higher vibration. Actually, usually stay away from the word high vibe because it's a little judgy. It's a little like, well, I'm high vibe and you're low vibe. I don't really
Yeah.
like that. But energy is meant to be oscillating at a certain frequency, especially emotional energy. It's supposed to be faster. Like literally, if you could see it, it'd be like zinging way faster. When it slows down, that's our body's way of like, so the emotions of sadness or fear or doubt, like this is actually the energy is slowing down. It's getting stuck. It's getting stagnant. So as the energy worker, what I'm doing is I'm coming and I'm moving that energy. And yeah.
Yeah. Is Reiki always one-on-one, or can it be one on many, or can it be many Reiki practitioners working on one person or on multiple people?
The answer is yes. Yes to all of those things. It's really cool. And one of the things I love about energy work is you get to play and you get to experiment. So I used to hold Reiki shares where it'd be a bunch of Reiki practitioners, and then one person would be lying on the table, and you'd have sometimes up to 5 people doing energy work for that one person at a time. I love doing group energy work. That's one of the things I'm actually going to be moving more into as well. I had one of my master classes I did, 200 people signed up for it, but I think there was like 30 or 40 people on the live call, and I was actively doing energy work for the group collective. It was so cool and so absolutely amazing. And I think you had a question too earlier about like, what would you be experiencing
Yes.
being receiving it? And a lot of times people just feel very relaxed. There's 2 things I always heard consistently, no matter what. If the person had no energy work experience or they had like a ton of energy work experience, was the 2 things were, I feel more relaxed and I feel lighter. And the lightness that they were perceiving was actually the energetic load. So I just talked about how there's a frequency that energy wants to move at, which feels good in our body, feels natural. So if there's too much heaviness and density, once you get that moving again, then it's like things are flowing. Energy is meant to flow just like water. I use that analogy a lot. Like you
And then
want it.
so what sort of things can be healed with Reiki? Is it just like, I don't know, a headache, or is it cancerous tumors, or what sort of things can happen?
Yeah, I mean, it can range from, I work a lot with emotional issues that people have. So, depression, anxiety, like those types of things, but it absolutely can help physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's one of the things I love about it, especially I've noticed with Reiki specifically, if there's an emotional component to a physical ailment, Reiki is very effective. So, as you can imagine, I get a lot of people who are kind of like, this is my
Mhm.
last, like, you're my last resort. Like, I've tried everything and nothing is working. And so they'll come to me, and sometimes amazing things can take place.
Give us one of your experiences where something people have come to you and said, you know what, I'm done. And then they come to you and things have gotten better because of the Reiki.
Yeah, I get a lot of people telling me that I did 10 years of therapy. I did 20 years of therapy, and I have healed more in 1 hour with you than I did the entire time with that therapist. Like it's kind of the level of change depending on where the person is at and what they're ready for. It's really, really beautiful how much can take place, and just their connection to themselves, how much they will tell me like this has changed my life. Working with a person who does energy work like I do, it opens you up to your own intuitive abilities. Everything I do is about empowering the other person, right? So there are some people unfortunately, who create dependence, right? So like you'll go to somebody for healing and you'll end up leaning on that person like, oh, they're the source of power, they're the source of healing. I'm the opposite. It's like, no, this is about you empowering yourself, right? Which is one of the reasons I teach Reiki, is so that you have a tool. Like you have this beautiful ability to heal yourself and to help other people. You never have to walk away from a situation going, oh, there's nothing I can do for this person. You can send them Reiki if they're open to it. So it's really cool.
That is interesting because I was always thinking that, like you just said, it's like the healer is the one that's actually giving the energy, and you're saying that it's not the healer. You can heal yourself. How does that work?
Yeah, okay, the way that healing is meant to be, it's meant to be both people are healing at the same time. So when you get into a healing space with somebody, I look at it like a triangle, especially with Reiki. There's the person gifting the Reiki, there's the person receiving it, and then there is source energy, the divine energy that you're connecting to, the Reiki itself. So there's sort of this like triangle of synergistic healing that takes place, right? So everyone walks away feeling better, feeling lighter. And this is why I help entrepreneurs, healers in business, because could you imagine a world where all healers were full-time doing what they were born to do, making good money, so that their nervous systems can relax and they can have a nice time being in a human body, not in lack, right? And then how much more healing would happen on planet Earth? Like,
Wow. So
so
it's for the entrepreneurs that want to come to you, right? And they say, you know what, I want to try something with Reiki. What is it that you would say, let's start here?
yeah, it depends on where they're at. So there's sort of three different three different stages that they'll come to me. First is the healer stage. So meaning, okay, I am a healer and I've been healing, but I want to develop my healing ability. So that's why they would come to me for 5 Element Dragon Fire Reiki, right? So it's a way for them to deepen into their own intuitive healing abilities, to start working with dragons and the meridian system in the body, those are little energy highways. And that's the first one. The second one is, okay, I've been healing. I feel confident enough, just have to be confident enough
Mhm.
to start a business, or I've started a business, but I'm earlier on, right? So now I need help. Like, how do I become successful? How do I translate this like amazing magic into something concise so that people can go, okay, that's the person for me. I need to work with that person. And then the third stage is, okay, you're a healer, you've been in business, you're successful, the business piece is already taken care of. You're just looking for deep emotional support, energetic support, spiritual support from somebody who understands you and can hold you through the inevitable birth, rebirth process as we continue to lean into our edges, right? Like, that's the thing, healers, we love knowledge, we love moving forward and adventuring into new things.
So if somebody wants to take something away from this today, and they go like, you know what, I'm going to try this little technique that Erin gave me, and see if Reiki's for me. What would that little thing be that they could say, you know what, this is cool?
So most people like this one. It's kind of fun. It's okay. So what you do, I'll just guide you through it. Is you're just gonna like rub your hands together, right?
Okay, rubbing my hands.
And it might help to close your eyes just so you can kind of focus.
I kind of
And
have
so
to
you're
watch the
rubbing, what we're
camera.
doing right now, yeah, we're activating our hands. And then you're just gonna like pull them out
Okay.
and really focus on energy between your hands right now. And so what we're doing is we're creating an energy ball, and you can play with this energy ball. So just feel if you can find the tension point.
I can.
So yeah, you can actually feel this really cool, like a buoyancy, or like like a very subtle bouncing. The reason
Hmm.
we channel Reiki into the hands is because the palm chakras, which chakras are little energy centers, they are very sensitive. So that's why you don't actually even have to do Reiki through the hands, but that's why we typically do it, because you can feel it much better. So you can actually play, yeah, with the energy ball. You can like shoot them out. I used to do that. I'd be driving down, and I'd be like, I'm gonna send Reiki energy balls to whoever wants it, and Reiki does not violate free will. So if somebody didn't want, say the energy ball, like kind of, like a bubble, like popped on them, and they didn't
Yeah.
want that energy, it would just go to the next person, which is cool. So
Okay,
yeah,
so we got the little energy balls. I'm gonna be playing with these because I can feel the little energy balls
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Mine's
You can
tiny.
feel
Yours was actually this big. Wow,
mine. Yeah, it's because I'm so excited. I love talking about this stuff, so it gets really yeah.
that is awesome. I want people to be able to get in touch with you, so let's just show them all the different ways they can get in touch with you. We've got crystalllakereiki.com, and that's your main website. And then also, if you're over on Facebook, that's Crystal Lake Reiki. And also, you're on Instagram at Erin Ryan underscore energy practitioner, which is very cool. So, I loved what this is all about, and I think I want to get in touch with you about doing some voice work. So, we're going to talk about that after the show. So, thank you very much for being here. I cannot wait to talk to you again, and we'll see you in the future.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.